Welcome to this video. My name is Hannes Knechtges, and in this video I want to show you a very useful exercise to develop your left and right hand technique in terms of picking and of course in terms of grabbing the right string in the right moment and doing it with a lot of attention in terms of how to mute stuff that you don't want to hear while playing to create a really nice sounding guitar sound. And before we start out, I want to show you something. Check out my free ebook, which you can just download without putting in any email or anything like this. Just grab it. Tons of cool information in there. Just go for it. Now I'm going to show you what you can expect to learn in this video. Who might have thought that this was just a stupid and boring major scale? In the key of A in this case, I just used those notes here. Boring. If you play a scale like this, at a certain point you have to learn it like this just to know where the notes are and stuff, and we will talk about this for that very specific case too, so you know where to play. But I want to show you some techniques how to make it sound more interesting, and also some techniques to make it sound really professional and clean. Because I see a lot of players practicing their stuff, their scales, whatever, and they don't pay attention to the stuff that's also important besides the right note and the right string. Let me show you the scale first, and especially how to play it. Just keep in mind, for all the notes in a certain fret, there's one finger that has to play it. So all the notes we're going to play for this very case, for this exercise, the index finger goes for all the notes in the 4th fret, the middle finger goes for all the notes in the 5th fret, the ring finger goes for all the notes in the 6th fret, and the pinky plays all the notes in the 7th fret. Just keep that in mind. If you're getting confused or something like this, just make sure the fingers have their individual fret for that exercise. And put your thumb kind of like the back of the neck. And then we start. Just let's check out the scale first if you don't know it. We start with the middle finger in the 5th fret on the E string. Just play downstrokes for now. Then we go with the pinky in the 7th fret. Okay, see? So it's 5, 7, middle finger, pinky. Then on the A string it's 4, 5, 7, index, middle, pinky. And then on the next string it's 4, 6, 7, so it's index, ring, pinky. On the G string it's the same, it's 4, 6, 7. On the B string it's 5, 7, and on the high E string it's 4, 5, and then also 7. We will need that note too. So let's do it again, really slow, just downstrokes. 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7. 7, 4, 5, and you can also do the 7. Make sure to really use the correct fingers for that exercise, okay? Some people are not used to use their pinky for stuff like this, and they are kind of like not used for something else. Take a look at my picking hand and just focus on the sound difference. If you play, I see a lot of people play stuff like this, like that. Hear that? A lot of strings ringing which are not supposed to ring, and if you're using an electric guitar with kind of like overdrive or distortion, this will be even louder. You will have a lot of noise that you don't want to have. And also, if you compare the sound which we have on the low E string, and I'm kind of like resting here on the bridge, but if I stay here and play the high E string then at this position, it sounds very thin. This sounds very full. Of course this is also a low string which sounds fuller. Take a look at the angle where the pick is hitting the string here, and when I move down there, because I have to turn my hand like this, the string gets picked here. and not there. You see the difference? Here and here. So what I want you to do is move along with your picking hand down to the very last string and up again to the start, you know? When you play like this, take a look at my picking hand, it's moving along. And this makes sure you always have the same sound on every string because you have the same pick angle and you're at the same position all the time. This is like something you can adjust for every scale you play, and also it has the advantage that you can mute the strings you don't want to hear. Because when you leave, for example, the A or the low E, A and D string, and you're playing up here, you should have some muting for the lower strings which you don't want to hear anymore. When I'm on the high B and E string, I got my hand kind of like lying on the lower strings to mute them, to make any unwanted noise go away. So this is important for terms of sound and muting. And then you try to play the scale like this. Right now I'm already lying on the low E string and I'm muting them, and the A string too. Now I'm moving forward. Right now I'm just barely touching it, you know, I'm not pushing the strings down or something, I'm just touching them so they're muted. Right now. And this can help you a lot to really make sure there are no unwanted strings ringing. And also, now let's come to the exercise itself. If you don't want to play a scale just from note 1 to note whatever, because this might sound a little bit boring, we have a pattern here which sounds pretty awesome. We start on the first note of the string, which is in the 5th fret of the low E string, and then we don't go to the second note, which is in the 7th fret, no. We go to the 3rd note of the scale. So we start on the 1st, and then we play the 3rd note of the scale, which is 5th fret, and then 4th fret on the A string, 5th fret E string, and then we go back to the 2nd note of the scale, and then to the 4th step, 4th note of the scale. So it's 1, 3, 4th note, and the 2nd note, 4th note. 1, 3, 2, 4. Just go for that. For the beginning, just get used to that. So it's not like this, you know, the way every beginner plays his scale. Boring. We play it like. And then you can expand that on the whole scale. So when I played the 1st and the 3rd, then the 2nd and the 4th note of the scale, yes, then I go to the 3rd note of the scale, and then to the 5th step of the scale, and so on. 4th step to the 6th step, 5th step to the 7th step, 6th step to the 8th step, and so on. And you do that all the time, and it sounds so much more interesting and gives your fingers a really good exercise. So let's go through all the frets. I will tell you just the frets, okay? 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7. 7 with the same finger, pinky's kind of like rolling over, 7 and 7, then 5th fret B string, 4th fret E string, 7 on the B, 5 on the E, 4, 7, 5. Let's do it again. 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 6, hand moves along with in the way, the direction I'm going. 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5. And again, before we repeat it, just do downstrokes if you're a beginner. Just get used to the movement first before you put some extra spice within your picking hand. I mean, if you want to play that scale that way faster, of course you will need alternate picking after a while. But first make sure you really know where to go with your grabbing hand. And now we do it with alternate picking. 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, 4. Start muting. 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5, 4, 7, 5. Do it really slow in the beginning, maybe even way slower than we just did it, because you have to make sure several things. I will repeat this. Move along with your picking hand after a while. If you leave kind of like the A string, if you're playing on the D string, make sure you're muting the low strings already and move along to keep the same angle while picking a certain string and to mute the strings you don't want to hear. Then also every finger has its fret. Don't forget that. Okay? Keep the thumb at the back of the neck. And also you can mute with your grabbing hand while not using fingers. I mean, take a look at my index finger. It's kind of like lying and just touching the strings which she's not playing a tiny little bit. He's still muting strings right next to it. So a lot of stuff to consider. That's why this exercise is playable for beginners who might discover just a major scale, and for the more advanced players to play that scale and check out all this muting stuff to develop your soloing skills. Of course, those skills also work for a rhythm guitar, but you get the idea. You just develop a way more precise way of playing your stuff and being aware of so many different things by just playing one scale. I hope I could bring you some joy and show you some new stuff that's useful for your playing. Please let me know if you have any other suggestions for your solo playing or if you have any questions. And also you will find in the video description my free lessons for beginners. A lot of cool video lessons going on there. And see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.